Hey everyone, ExxotikGaming here, back with another very special and very different style of PUBG Mobile video. Yes, this is not a joke, this is actually the real life story of how I almost got kidnapped, almost got killed. Many bad things could have happened to me in a very short period of time because I did everything wrong that you're not supposed to do if you ever don't want to get yourself kidnapped. I did everything your parents tell you not to do in the middle of the night to get yourself kidnapped. Very stupid set of events, and I wanted to make this story to hopefully teach some people so they don't follow in my footsteps, because I was very lucky, but so many other people could have so easily had very bad things happen to them if they did the exact same thing that I did. Now, I hope this commentary can go smoothly without any problems. I'm very sick and trying my best to make it sound like I'm not. I've had a very high fever of over 102 Fahrenheit, over 39 Celsius for a week straight, with a bad headache and eye pressure, and my doctor says I have either Zika virus or dengue fever. Obviously not great diseases to have, and it really sucks that this has to happen, but I guess I'll have to live with it, and I just want to keep trying my best to post content for you all. So hopefully this video is still as awesome as normal. I hope you guys learn a very valuable lesson from this video. Please leave a like if you enjoy this video and you learn something valuable from this. And yeah, without further ado, let's jump into this. So, a little premises of how I actually got into this situation. This was towards the end of my last semester of last year. I was finishing up my second year in college. I'm going into my third year of college now. This was like April. This was like, what, 7 months ago? 6, 5, I don't really know. Right around that time, 7 to 5 months ago, right towards the end of my second year. And I was very tired at this point in time. I made multiple videos explaining how difficult YouTube in college is, and I have very, very long nights where I stay up until 3 a.m. almost every single night because I'm trying to combine schoolwork and YouTube and everything together. I have to drive 45 minutes from my campus back to my house to make my videos because I'm not able to keep my whole computer set up in my dorm to make my videos, so I have to make them at home, and it's a 45-minute drive each way. Things are really difficult. Things are really difficult, and when videos take 7 hours to make sometimes, it's tough. It's really, really tough. And there are many times where I leave my house at like 1 a.m. to drive 45 minutes back to campus and then start on my homework. So this is what ended up happening. One of those days, I was working on a very difficult PUBG Mobile video. I'd say it was one of the most difficult ones I've ever made. I'd say it was probably like the 10 ways noobs die in PUBG Mobile video, something like that, right? Where it would take, like 10 hours of editing or more. I, got back from campus to my house at like lunchtime, and then I worked basically all the way until 1 a.m. And I left my house at 1 a.m. to drive back to campus to then do my homework. And every single time I leave my house to go back to campus, I stop at the gas station before I go back. Before I go on the highway, because you never know, you could be stuck in traffic, any bad thing could happen. So I always stop at the gas station. I get myself an energy drink because I'm scared I'm going to fall asleep at the wheel, because I get very close to that at many times. And this time, I get to the gas station, I pull up, and I'm so out of it, man. I have never been out of it more than this in my entire life. I am so unbelievably tired, like I'm unable to like respond properly or think properly or anything at all. And any other time, this whole story that I'm going to tell you would have probably never happened because I'm not a stupid person. I don't do things like this, but at this time, I was so vulnerable because I was so tired and I wasn't thinking right. And I just feel so stupid for doing this. It sucks, man. It really sucks. So this is what ended up happening. I was filling up my car, standing there by the pump, and a guy comes up to me. This gas station is empty, mind you. There's no other cars there, nothing at all, because it's 1 a.m. in a small town in Florida. No one's going to be there filling up their car. This guy comes up to me, and he's just like, hey, man, my car's broken down the street about a half a mile down there, and, things are tough. I don't have a phone. I lost my phone, and I went into the gas station, and they said I couldn't use their phone, and I just wanted to use yours to call my brother to see if he could help pick me up. And first lesson, don't give your phone to a random stranger in the middle of nowhere. He could run off with it, or he could, pull a gun and be like, you're gonna give me it, and you do not take it back, or I'm going to shoot you or something like that, right? Well, stupid me, I give him my phone. He's like 45, 50. He looks like not the best person in the entire world, first off. He's not like this clean-cut business guy or anything like that, right? Like, he's all scruffy, long hair, like dirty shirt, everything like that. Everything that would make you not want to, give your phone or anything valuable into his hands. And I do it anyways. Now, he doesn't run off with it, which is fantastic. I'm very happy about that, okay? He actually pulls up the phone menu and he calls his brother. It rings. No one picks up. He gives the phone back to me. I'm like, wow, okay, this guy didn't give the phone back to me. I mean, I didn't really think that at that time. Again, I was so vulnerable and tired, I kind of was just going along with it. I was just like, oh, great, phone back. Okay, cool, nice. What's next? And then the guy's like, yeah, man, well, my girlfriend, I don't know who it was, is down there by my car that broke down. We were moving from Orlando way out in here to the town, and I was trying to, our car broke down, and she's out there, and I wanted to know if it would be at all possible if you could take your car and take both of us back to our house, because we have no one to help us. And I'm just, here's lesson number 2. That would be the dumbest thing you could possibly do. Take a random person, 2 random people, not even one, but 2 people in your car at 1 a.m. in the middle of the night with no other people around. How stupid is that? You could have gotten your car stolen. You could have gotten so many things wrong. And I decide to go for it because, again, I'm so vulnerable and so tired and can't think clearly that I'm just like, okay, fine. I wanted to help this person, right? I wasn't so tired and screwed up to where I didn't want to help this person. He seemed like a legitimately confused and lost person, and I just wanted to help, okay? It's such a difficult situation to be in because you want to help, but you also know that you can't do something stupid like that, and so I do it anyways. Against what any person would say is a logical decision to just say, I'm sorry, and go. I actually get the guy to come into the passenger seat. We drive over to where his car is broken down. It's in the middle of an empty parking lot with no cars around. There's obviously no cameras around. Anything could have happened. He could have shot me and nobody would have probably even heard the gunshot. Okay? He could have kidnapped me. Nobody would have known until probably the next day. Right? I get there. I get out of my car to look at his car. His wife is there, or girlfriend, I don't know who it was, and she's, thanking me for coming there to pick them up. And again, I'm going with it. I'm like, yeah, no problem. And, I'm talking with them. I'm explaining who I am. They get into the passenger seats. She's in the passenger seat, shotgun, and then he's behind me, and we start driving off. He's like, yeah, man, my house is just 5 minutes down the road. It wasn't 5 minutes down the road. Dude, they were like 35 minutes directly west. Farther and farther out into the country and the forest in the middle of absolutely nowhere. There were points where I didn't even have cell service and I had 1 bar of 4G where their house was. At any point, I could have dropped cell service and been in no contact. Something bad could have happened and I would have not been able to call 911 because I would have not had any connection to the outside world. They could have taken my car. They could have taken me. They could have shot me. They could have done so many other bad things. And I get to their house with them. I let them out. And any logical person, again, for the next lesson, is they would have left. They would have said, okay, I hope you guys, get things figured out. Have a nice night. And then leave. But I didn't. The guy was like, hey, man, I also restore cars. And I wanted to see if, you wanted to see one of my cars that I'm restoring. Stupid me gets out of my car again at his house in the middle of nowhere, in the middle of the forest, probably miles away from the next house, okay? And I get out. The guy opens up the garage door, and I start touring around his house. I go into the garage. What if he just shuts the garage door, locks it, and I'm stuck trapped in there? What could have happened? Anything could have happened, okay? And amazingly, he actually had his car in there. I was looking at the car. It was really cool. He was really doing a nice job. It was an old Barracuda from the 1960s, and it was nice, or 1970s. I don't really remember what it was. And, yeah, basically, at the end of the day, I told him I had to leave, and, you know, he didn't, you know, have like a suspicious look and say, oh, well, you're not going anywhere. He was just like, okay, man, that's good. And then he gave me his contact information. He's like, listen, if you need help with anything ever, you know who to call. I'm there for you. And I got in my car and I actually drove away, and I actually was okay after all of that. But think about that. Think about how many stupid decisions I made in such a short period of time. Even after the fact, I didn't even realize how bad of a decisions I made until like I got back to campus. And then I told my roommate, who was still awake, and then he was like, dude, you actually did that? And then I finally started to realize, after I was with a friend and actually talking more and communicating more instead of just sitting there like tired, I actually started to realize what was going on. Told my parents, they were very upset. Told all of my other friends, they were like, wow, man, that's really stupid to do. And it's just, so many bad things could have happened. And I don't want anybody watching this video to ever make dumb decisions like that. I know, I wanted to help. I wanted to help, okay? And I know there's so many people watching that want to help as well. You see a person stuck on the side of the road, of course you want to help. But if you think about it, it's the middle of a dark parking lot, completely empty of cars, in the middle of absolutely nowhere, where you get out of your car, they could take your car, they could take you, they could shoot you. We're in Florida. We're in one of the craziest states in the whole country. There's weird people. There's people that want to do harm. And I literally put myself in any possible situation to have that happen to me. I'm just such an idiot. And I can't believe I did that. And it's just, it really, I don't know how else to describe it, but it tears at you from either side, because you want to help the person, but you also don't want to get harmed yourself because you don't know the motives of this other person. Because, you know, I wish the world was perfect where, you know, there's no problem. If somebody has a problem, you can go and help them without any risk of something bad happening, but it's not. And the world isn't like that. And there's a lot of stories where people get killed or get injured or get kidnapped by something as simple as what I did. So please, take my story as a life lesson. Don't do what I did, starting right from the very beginning, where you don't give your phone if you're in a situation like that. If you're in a crowded public place, you know, maybe at certain times, you know, you can give your phone to somebody to call somebody that they know. But like, you really have to watch out, and never take somebody in your car in the middle of nowhere at nighttime to a place where it's even more remote, where there's not even cell service. That's just so stupid, man. Don't do that. Don't do that. So, yeah, that's my story. That's my life story. I'm sorry there was not really anything funny in this video, but it was more of like a learn from my mistakes video. And I hope you guys learned something new. Make sure to leave a like if you learned something new. And comment down below if you've had anything else similar to this happen to you. I'm very curious if anybody's ever had something like this happen to them. So, yeah, comment that and subscribe for more PUBG Mobile content. Hope you enjoyed the gameplay in the background. And that's it. I'll see you guys later.